What is up, guys, and welcome back to the channel. Guys, we're back with my guy TikTok Neil, here with things Americans do that other countries find weird. And I know I checked out some kind of related videos, but we finna check these out because these are always interesting. Y'all hit that subscribe button, send out those recommendations.
Things that are considered normal in the US, but weird everywhere else. Parent edition. It's okay. Driving SUVs or like giant minivans, every other country has just normal sized cars using wasteful disposable diapers and a ton of them. In other countries, they literally just take their baby and hold it over the toilet and force it to pee so that they're potty trained at a way earlier age.
Is this true? Let me know.
Traumatic, but effective. Putting your kids to bed super early. In other countries, they let them stay up past 10 sometimes so that they can develop interpersonal connections and socialize with the rest of the family. Dishing out huge meals, even at a young age. We know what this one does. In America, we shield our kids from, you know, but not from violence. What? That's so weird to me. Going right back to work after having a baby. In other countries, they get way more time to like chill with their child and not stress out, which seems pretty nice. And finally, apparently it's weird that we keep dogs as pets. Other countries have way smaller animals. I don't know what I would do.
Things that are normal in
It's funny because she kept the S3X on there, but some of her points were valid. Y'all gotta let me know if she's speaking facts or caps.
America, but super weird everywhere else. Travelers coming into America are often surprised by how big American portions are. In Europe and pretty much everywhere else, the portions are much smaller. The gaps in public bathroom stalls. In other places, it's completely private, so you don't have to worry about anyone seeing you. Giving your credit card to servers. They take your credit card, charge you, and then bring it back with a receipt. I'm used to just tapping my credit card on a payment machine and that's it. Tipping expectations in restaurants. In America, you're expected to tip 18% or more to your server, whereas other places like Japan, it's actually considered rude to tip at all.
I think this was on the one I seen yesterday. But he's speaking
whereas
facts,
other places like Japan, it's actually considered rude to tip at all. Before I show you the last one, I just found a way to prank your friends by spam texting them at maximum speed. Try it out by pressing here on my profile, then press spam text your friends. And finally, Americans get a lot of ice put into their drinks. They pay for most of their drink to be filled up with ice and only a little bit of soda. Let me know what you think about this in the comments.
Okay, stitch this with something that Americans do that it's really weird. I'll start. So I've been around the block. I've lived in other countries and stuff like that, and I've noticed that the only people, mainly guys, of course, American guys, like to go out in swimming trunks. And it's like November.
It's a swimming trunks.
December, or they live in like Seattle or something. Like they just love wearing swimming trunks out. Like, why are you
That is weird. Who wears swimming trunks out? Swimming trunks are not the most comfortable shorts to wear out there, are they?
Or something. Like they just
they're not comfortable to me.
Trunks out. Like, why are you unexpectedly going to get invited to a pool party? Is a tsunami coming your way?
I did used to always wear basketball shorts under my pants and even under other shorts, because you just never know when somebody try to challenge you to a game of one-on-one. So you almost got to stay prepared. I did used to wear basketball shorts under, for sure.
I don't know. Like, are you preparing for something that we don't know about?
Asking you shall receive. Starting out with one of my favorites.
Not all
I don't
the
know how I forgot
ranch.
this is the last one. Ranch. You gotta try it.
It's not bad.
Like tipping. Tipping is really important in the US though, because the wait staff do not make a livable wage. So please remember to tip when you are traveling in the US. Number 3. We're going to talk a little bit about vehicles.
Those are huge.
So first are these very large jacked up trucks. I don't know, they might have these in like the outback of Australia, but I've never seen one just driving around the streets of Sydney. And you will see trucks like this just driving around city streets in the US.
I think I know some people.
I don't know how they afford gas. Petrol.
That's like 2.
We also have the candy paint cars.
Hey.
And yes, you will see these driving around.
This is definitely, maybe if you go to Houston, for sure. If you go to Houston, I have relatives that used to have some of these, but I don't see them often now. But when I was young, I've seen them a lot.
On the streets. Being used to drinking warm beer. All those college parties that I drank out of a keg in the back of a pickup truck, and I could have been drinking out of this. Peanut butter and jelly.
I told John I wanted a PB&J and he thought it was something dirty.
And finally, Greek life, or just like university or college life
Greek
in
life
general.
is very
I feel like
American.
most countries just go to university from their family home, while America makes it like this whole coming of age time in your life where you need friends. So you join a sorority or fraternity. Yes, I was in a sorority.
Weird things that Americans do. Part 12. In the US,
12.
dogs can travel like this. In Spain, this is very much illegal. You will get a huge fine. If you have a small dog, in Spain you will have to travel with him like this. And if it's a big dog, you will need to put them on the trunk and protect them with a screen like this. Weird things Americans do. Part 14. Americans pay so much money to get their nails done. It's normal to spend between $60 and $120.
My wife need to watch this because she definitely get her nails done.
Pay so much money to get their nails done. It's normal to spend between $60 and $120. Yes, on nails. Yesterday, I saw a TikTok of a woman and she made a video about her nails and how much she paid. It was $90 and I'm reading through the comments and the people were like, oh, that's a pretty good price, or that's not a bad price for the design you got. Like, what? How can people afford spending $90 every 3 weeks? I was used to paying 12 euros in Spain.
What?
So yeah, that was a culture shock for me.
Oh yeah, we're going to Spain. Like my wife, she don't get them done every 2-3 weeks or nothing like that, but it is pricey. But I have had my fair share going with her to get a pedicure. You know, they do have your toes looking right, but it comes at our price too. I ain't gonna lie. I think a pedicure costs about $60 to $80, maybe $100 too, depending on what you get. But hey, my toes be feeling new toes, new freshness. You know, I be walking everywhere with the toes out. You know, at least for a little while till the bunions come back.
Every 3 weeks. I was used to paying 12 euros in Spain. So yeah, that was a culture shock for me.
That's major.
Weird things Americans do. Part 10. You guys, Americans eat dinner at 5 p.m. The first time I came to the US and I went to a restaurant with my friends and it was 5 p.m. I was like, wow, we're gonna eat dinner twice.
That's too early.
Twice. Yeah, we're gonna eat at 9-10 p.m. again, right? They were like, no, this is an only dinner. Like, what?
Oh,
Are you
no.
hungry by 9 or 10 p.m.?
Weird
Never
things
can.
Americans do that other countries don't understand. Leading the pack, we have using America or Americans to describe anything about ourselves, like I just did. If you grew up in the US, you would assume that using America or the United States are interchangeable. The rest of the world does not agree. We aren't the only America out there because there's a lot more to North America than us. There's also South America, and that's why everybody else refers to us as the States. Next up, we have tipping our servers. Not tipping your server in the US is often frowned upon, but in other countries, it's not expected and sometimes considered rude. That's probably because in the US, we do not pay our servers a livable wage. Then we have that in the US, we put a ridiculous amount of ice in our drinks. When you visit Europe,
Me personally, I don't like all that ice. Y'all, I'm sure y'all heard me from the past 2 videos. I don't like all that ice. I like my drink cold, but you know, as long as it's sitting in the ice for a little bit, then it's good. But all that ice is just gonna make your drink watery.
a lot of restaurants don't even use that much ice, and you might not even get it unless you ask for it. In my opinion, ice just takes up way too much space. I want more alcohol. Another one is that in the US, if you want a degree, you're gonna have to deal with crippling student debt. A lot of other countries offer free college educations. And lastly, in the US, vacation time is very scarce. 6 weeks paid is standard.
Weird things that Americans do. Part 13. Americans hand their credit cards to waiters when paying for their food like it's nothing. The waiters literally take your card to the back of the restaurant, runs the card, and then returns it later with the bill. The first time I ate at a restaurant here in the US and the waiter took my card, I was like, what are you doing? In Spain, we always use contactless cards. The waiter comes with a machine like this, tap the card, and that's it. So here in the US, how do I know?
Depending on what restaurant you go to, some of them have those. Some of them have the little things already at the table where you can pay for it. You can even play games and order your food.
You're not writing down my credit card information. Why don't you do more contactless cards? I'm confusion. Weird things that Americans do. Part 5. Let's talk about tipping. It may be normal in the US, but it's not in the rest of the world. The first time I ate at a restaurant in the US, I was very confused when the server gave me the bill. But then I found out that the US doesn't have universal high wages. So the employer, let's say a restaurant, can pay the employee, a server, under the minimum wage if they earn tips. Since Americans are aware of this, they tip between 15 and 20%. My question is, why the US doesn't have universal high wages? Weird things that Americans do. Part 4. I don't understand one thing about here. Why do Americans keep building wooden homes in areas prone to tornadoes and hurricanes?
Facts.
Also, they can be very expensive. Let me show you. Oh, it's freezing. There it is.
That's a lot of
Why don't
money.
you guys don't build with concrete or stone?
That's a lot of money.
There it is.
Let me see. Where is this house located? This gotta be in California. 500,000 for that little nothing.
Why don't you guys
That had
deal
to be
with
Cali
concrete
or
or
somewhere,
stone
maybe.
houses? I'm very confused.
Weird things Americans do that other countries don't understand. Leading the pack, we have that in America, we have gaps in our bathroom stalls. To be honest, I thought this was a worldwide thing, but now that I think of it, that's fucking weird. Having to sit in constant fear, literally, of someone seeing you take a shit is baffling. I feel like these were invented specifically for the Tony Lopez's of the
my
world.
God.
Next up is that we have a specific room for our laundry.
Yeah.
Normally, we have a laundry room with our washer and dryer in it, or we put it in the garage, but in Europe, they keep it in the kitchen. To be honest, I just think food and clothes don't mix, so this kind of makes sense. Next up, we have
Yeah, I mean, I like my laundry room separate, you know?
the annoying sales tax. In Europe, they just pay the listed price with everything included, but in America, we add the sales tax because we like to be fucking difficult. Then we have that we sell booze and cigarettes at our pharmacies.
That's wild.
To be honest, I've never actually thought about this, but yes, this is a fucking problem. Let me go get my medicine, but also some cigarettes and alcohol. And lastly, our food portions in America are absolutely
What?
fucking
That's a big burger. That's not even a burger. After 3 patties, at least after 3, that's not a burger anymore. That's something else.
disgusting. This is why we are one of the leaders in obesity.
Weird things that Americans do? Part 15. Let's talk about tobacco. Americans can buy
tobacco?
cigarettes at most grocery stores. Let me show you before I continue. This was a huge culture shock for me because there's no way that in Spain you can buy cigarettes at the grocery store. In Spain, we have specific stores to buy tobacco. This is what the outside look like and this is the inside. As you can see, they only sell tobacco.
It's crazy because they actually lock that stuff up in the especially at Walmart. They lock that stuff up in like cases and stuff. I'm like, do people really be like on a nicotine rush, tobacco rush or something that they gotta steal cigarettes? Like that stuff used to not be locked up and put in the back. Now they always used to be behind the cashier at like a gas station or something. But Walmart locked all that stuff up all of a sudden now. I said, dang, that's crazy. That's great. But no, this was crazy. This was, yeah, I'll never understand stuff, but definitely certain things should not be normal. Like what we've been doing shouldn't be normalized, but it is. It's a crazy thing. But y'all gotta still tell me about that first one. Like, I mean, as a baby, I would have my baby in diapers. You know, there's a certain time for them to be potty trained. They talk about y'all hang them over the toilet so they can use the restroom. That's wild as a baby, you know. But guys, that's all I have. Y'all hit that subscribe button. Hey, send me more recommendations and be blessed, be the best, and be you. I'm out.